That is how it happened. There is no evidence to the contrary. None whatsoever. So having established that, I think it's time to move on to this music instead. Yes, there we are. Hello, Default and Uru. And I might as well take that photo off the screen. So I'm sure everyone's excited because today we get to continue our amazing foray into the world of paranormal investigating. I'm sure you're all looking forward to that. Oh, do I? Also, I might be randomly interrupted, ironically, right as I'm about to start the stream, but we'll see. Oh boy. Yep, I'm going to be. Just give me a moment. Okay, I am back, and I see Burn, Death, and Odiro have made it. And now food has been bequeathed onto me, so that's good. And I was messing around with the microphone settings last night because I was making another recording of an H.G. Wells story, so it might sound a little better now, hopefully. But I think it's time to get onto the game. Onto our amazing foray into the world of the paranormal. This will be a especially dramatic episode if I recall correctly, so that should be exciting. Uh-oh. Can't really see this, and apparently it doesn't pause while there we go, that's the title screen. Doesn't pause when it's unfocused, which means I don't think you got to see any of the intro, so I'm going to go ahead and start that up one more time. Hopefully you'll be able to see it now. Yes. Brandislab. It says something like that. Oh, and wouldn't you know it, there's people in the next room making noise. That's always a good thing. But let's do some paranormal investigating. This time there's big body of water here. And a shadowy figure standing right on the edge. And you might have noticed that the lettering on the title screen was Greek. That was the Greek alphabet. I'm sure everyone here knows it. Because I'm sure everyone here had to learn Greco-Latin etymologies in high school like I did, except probably not, because apparently people who speak English don't study that stuff in high school, so let's just get to the game and watch the intro. It starts in 1804. Okay, maybe Lizard Man did, since he is Portuguese. Hello, by the way. And apparently there's a village in danger. Some innocent blood that might be shed in a ritual. Oh, that's kind of weird death. I remember, you know, like the last time I looked at that burnt stream thread. Marcus Wilkins. The last time I looked at that thread, I think the last thing that was written was Knox saying that that she already unbanned you. Yes, exactly. So something's going on with that guy in colonial clothing. So Ben's no longer having nightmares about Mary Blaine, but now he's having those dreams. And apparently he's with Simon. He's in England, it looks like. Apparently we're on a never-ending roller coaster of not working, since we're traveling around the world on holiday and only just sort of casually solving cases. So we're going to Greece in 2 days, just for relaxation. So here's our stellar presentation, flying from London to Athens. This is case 6, Scourge of the Sea People. So now we're just in the Athens airport. And Alice's portrait is different, I think. But Simon's not that much. So it is our first task to find us some transportation into the city. A cab or something similar. And you might notice that our moving icon is like an Olympic runner. Our icon is, well, that thing. The moving icon has assembled as a hand with an eye for interaction. And the speech icons are these sort of marble stuffs. And as always, we have our notepad in our inventory. Oops. Might as well put that out of the way. Doesn't seem to be anything in it though, unless we look at the notes. Gotta find transportation to Athens, that's right. And that's... what's the question mark? Oh, it's the about thing, right. So right off the bat, around here we have a sign welcoming us to the airport, a cabinet, a door, and a large and frustrated looking woman. So let's see if she will say anything to us. She's not in the mood for chit-chat apparently. What about herself? She's upset but she doesn't want to talk. Fair enough, I suppose. So, let's see what's off to the left. There's a cafe which uses the papyrus font, that's always nice. There's an official looking door and a red border indicating a restricted area. There's a man wearing a bright red shirt. Looks like he's waiting for someone, so I'm sure there'll be something interesting inside the cafe. Some abstract art on the walls. And a tourist looking guy. Who's apparently American. Oh, but we can't think of anything to ask him, so maybe chit-chat. Apparently we like his shirt, even though it makes him really stand out as a tourist. So that's interesting. But there doesn't seem to be that much we can do. Maybe if we step into the restricted area. No, Ben doesn't want to do that. Maybe interact with it. There's no telling what might happen if we step into the restricted area, so we're not going to do that. Instead, we're going to see what's further off to the left. There is a woman. Can we look at her? She appears to be waiting for someone. But she doesn't want to talk because she must not speak English. I don't know. Maybe she just doesn't want to talk to you, Ben. And now we're outside the airport. And instantly we know this guy's a taxi driver. That's great. There's also a waste bin and a taxi. A Mercedes-Benz taxi here. So let's see if the taxi driver will take us to Athens. Sexuality. Or me sexuality. Not entirely certain what that's supposed to mean. Me sexuality. I guess that's how you pronounce it. So, but he doesn't want to go to Athens because today's Polytechnical, and he doesn't go to Athens because there's demonstrations and students all over the place. And everyone who works out the airport gets out of Athens, and we just missed the last bus, wouldn't you know it? So we can either wait in the airport or go someplace other than Athens. Seems like a great idea. Apparently this guy is happy enough with his job though. So we have a new quest. Find some place to go that isn't Athens. I see people are busy trying to resolve the Deathcock incident over in the chat. But for the time being... Well, maybe this woman over here, please Ben, will help us figure out where we can go. Although she doesn't want us to go to Athens either. Apparently we're looking for something. But before she'll tell us what it is, we need to help her get back her soul. James Brown type soul or invisible spiritual soul. Apparently her soul was stolen by a tourist that took a picture of her. And surprisingly, you know, there's apparently only one tourist other than Ben in the airport. And he's in here. So let's see if we can get him to part with his camera. We can't talk to him about anything. That's kind of weird. Even though I'm fairly certain that's the person we're supposed to talk to. Oh boy. Apparently this guy speaks English. I hadn't thought of talking to this guy. But he doesn't want to say much to us, I don't think. He would mind being asked questions. He's waiting for his friend and he doesn't want to talk to anyone. So not entirely certain what we're supposed to do. I mean, if we talk to this woman again, I don't think we can ask her anything more. Oh, the deal. Cameras take souls. It happened so fast. But he's still around. There we are. He had a very ugly shirt on. And apparently that was all we had to do. Now maybe we can talk to the tourist. How can we talk to him? Yes, we can. What can you tell me about yourself? He's from Colorado, apparently, and we're from Philadelphia. He's Steve, huh? I thought he was from Denmark, but alright. Whatever you say, Steve. He's taking a year off from school to travel the world. He's been through Japan, China, India, and now he's here. He's headed to Italy, then he's going to cross Europe. Apparently this guy went to Tokyo and he had a really hard time finding anyone who spoke English, which I wouldn't have expected, but apparently he took some great pictures. He's taken a few pictures and he took that picture of that lady, so this is the guy we've been looking for. So what do you think of Greece? Apparently he's interested in history and the mythology. He hopes 7 days is enough. Yeah, it can't be easy to have your face warped across a short period of time. Maybe if we take his picture, we can trick him into surrendering his camera. So I wonder if you can see the puzzle here. We got the guy standing there, we can tell him where to move. And right next to him is the restricted area. Bit backward. To your right. Oh, but he doesn't want to go into it. So maybe we have to be a bit more subtle with our approach into this devious plan. Gotta keep moving him to the right. That's right, keep going to the right. And now step back just a little bit, just a little bit. There you go. Yep, now you are standing in our restricted area. And now he's being taken away into the office because he was trying to take a picture in the restricted area. What's important, even though we fucked him over with that, it's that now we have his camera. An Insta flash camera, just like we won on the Crazy Game Show. You know, a bit of a subtle note to the fact that the guy didn't want to make a different camera sprite. Bit of a hand wave for his laziness, but we got the camera, now we can destroy the picture. And she smashed the camera. And now she will talk to us about the sea people. Not sure where that came from, but alright. What are the sea people? Terrible things that live in the sea and come up at night and drag people down into the sea to eat them. And apparently she heard us say we're a paranormal investigator, so apparently there's a place that needs us. There's a problem with the sea people to the north. And we need to go to Agia Anna, wherever that is. It's a few hours to the north in Avia. It's a nice vacation spot, and we can also learn about the sea people. So why not, let's go check it out. So off we go to talk to the taxi driver and inform him of the our new destination. See what he will say about that. Apparently there's a lot of places called Agiana here. But he knows about the one we're looking for. Apparently it's normally about 100 euros, but because we couldn't get to Athens, he'll make us a half-price deal. So we just need to wait for our friends, and here they come. How opportune. And apparently they don't mind. So into the taxi we go, and off to this village. And will we get to see some expert animation, or is the taxi gonna stay stationary? Nope, look at that animation. Must be pretty cozy in there. Also, I didn't see them carrying any luggage, so... Oh, apparently they did though, because there's something there. So now that we've escaped the airport, and we are in the... yes. There's only 2 beds too. So apparently we're going to share our bed with Simon. So it's time for sleep. And that sure is some cheery music. It's about 11:30. Apparently we slept quite soundly. Alice wanted to have a look around and... And Simon's convinced still that we have feelings for Alice. Which will be quite a big point in this game. But he's going to back off for the moment. He's going to go exploring, and we're also going to have a look around. But he doesn't want us to investigate anything, because this is supposed to be a holiday. But of course we're going to break our word. So now we're just in the seaside bungalow. Might be made of adobe, but we can't say for sure. 15 euro per night. So let's see where we can go from here. We can go back over here to where we arrived at the town. Sorry Mykonos, not sure what that means. And there's a Peachy Peachy by the Pool restaurant. That's an interesting name. Payphone, a sign. Apparently it's the Club Agiana. Must be a camping area. And a plant with pink flowers. So let's see if we can get some of those flowers for ourselves. Yep, it might make a nice gift later on, so let's appropriate one of those flowers. I don't think there's anything else we can do in here for the moment, so let's explore the town proper now. So, see, there's the sea right there. We're right next to the sea. The Aegean Sea, apparently. Maybe if we go left. Actually, it might be better if we go right for the time being. Since I think the town itself is to the right. Yeah, there we go. That sure is some music. There's a sign. The only thing written in English is Tom's Pizza. Oh well, yeah, that's some music. An eating establishment. Doorway leading into this building and a house. Apparently whoever lives here must be really wealthy, because it's the nicest house around. So where should we go next? Might as well check out the pizzeria. Don't think I've ever tried Greek pizza. There's a large window providing ample lighting. We don't know what's on the menu because we can't read Greek. There's a large metal door leading back into the kitchen, an opening, and a woman here who looks extremely bored. She doesn't want to talk small apparently, so... What do we want? What about this pizza place? Is she the owner? No. And apparently Ben likes talking to himself, which he notices. Her name is Cassandra. Wonder if that's a subtle nod to the Homeric poems. It probably is. Or maybe it's just a very common name in Greece. Apparently she serves the best pizza in Greece. Because it has the freshest ingredient and best taste, and we've given some dough. Because apparently it's really good. Does she know anything about these sea people? The Forsyths? No, she doesn't want to talk about them. Apparently it brings bad omens. So now we have a pink flower in our inventory and some pizza dough, which is apparently uncooked, so that's great. Not much else we can do in here right now. So, might as well check out the next building down, which is also open. And there's one guy in here, an old man who looks oddly familiar. There's a painting of the Virgin Mary. There's a nail on the wall, a 1-pixel nail. A menu with some items in Greek and in English. A Greek flag. So let's see if this guy will want to talk to us. It's quite nice outside, but a bit hot. Also notice his picture. You might not realize this if you haven't, I guess, experienced the lore of the games, but I guess I should explain. Each of these games comes with some images. Yes, images. Of something that Ben has called the Paranormal Investigator's Handbook, and let me see if I can show a bit of it right now. There's a bunch of GIF files on the thing. Yeah, there we go. And it says, for example... Oops, no. Not that. This, yeah. Talks more about the sea people in this one, because that's the relevant document. It's page 2, which is intentionally left blank. But when you get to the About the Author page, you get to this guy's picture. It's Professor Quincy Sanborn. He wrote the handbook that Ben has been using in every case up until now. And he did say, in this page I think, yeah, that he was traveling to Greece to collect more evidence of the existence of the sea people. So now that we've had that bit of information, let us resume our conversation with him, even though Ben apparently hasn't yet recognized him. Oops. See if we can talk to him. Who is he? Perhaps he just has one of those faces. Or have we ever been to Oxford? Yep. His picture is in the back of the Paranormal Investigator's Handbook. He's Professor Quincy Sanborn. And we're a big fan of his, of course. Apparently he doesn't have a lot of fans though, because that's the most flattering thing anyone has ever said to him. Oh yes, we're a paranormal investigator, and apparently this is the first time someone's found his work useful in their career. Which he's very glad to hear. So he wants to talk to us about our cases. Around 8 o'clock this evening, so we've got a date. So what brings him here? Oh yeah, he came to investigate these sea people, right? That particular chapter was lacking, because he didn't really say anything. It's just like half a page and then 2 blank pages. So what does he think of the village? It's lovely and the seaside area is marvelous. He'd like to retire here. Oh well, apparently the same woman who pointed us here pointed him here. That's quite a coincidence. He hasn't learned much about the sea people because the villagers don't want to talk about them. But he did manage to speak to a local fisherman about them. He lives in the house on the far end of the beach to the west of the village. And apparently once he opens up he's quite pleasant. He even offered to hire his boat, but he couldn't accept because of his seasickness. So now we have a referral to someone who might know something about the sea people. That's quite the handy tip. So might as well go see if we can't find the fisherman. And the music ends because we're back to the seaside area. Might as well take a bite of this. And there's something protruding out of the sand. A metal bar. So of course we have to get it. Because this is an adventure game and we're going to need it. Can't go into the sea, but here's a boat. And a small house in the distance. There's a box with... what is this? It contains several sets of tentacles, that's interesting. And here's the door. It's kind of weathered, but let's see if we can find whoever's in here. Paracalo periminete na lepto. Boys sigh. Well, let's see if we can't talk to him. Professor, yes. Referred us to you. Because we're a paranormal investigator. So now we're invited inside. But before we talk to him, let's have a quick look around. There's a hat. Small metal pitcher. That was a window. A basket. A bed, and apparently that's all there is here. Must be quite a cozy life, but let's see what this guy will say to us. What can you tell us about yourself? He built this house himself. Feels more at home at sea. And the fishing hasn't been so good lately though. Fish are not biting as they usually do. Something isn't right with the sea. And he speaks very good English, as do we. That's great. Yeah, I know that feel. I don't usually let people know that, I'm not from around wherever I'm going, but... Oh, thank you, dear. So what does he know about the sea people? What does he know? There are creatures who live in the sea at night. They come out and drag people down into the water to eat them. That's kind of eerie, but apparently there were always stories to scare children. But apparently they might be more than stories. Some people from the village have been disappearing, and now there are drag marks in the sand. So on land is not where we should be to know more about the sea people. It seems like a nice village, though. The fisherman's lived here his whole life. It hasn't changed very much. The past few years we've been getting more tourists, and he hopes they don't start building resorts here. That'd be a shame. So can we get an offer to ride on the boat? But he doesn't want money. And he catches his own food. So this must be King's Greek cousin. Or uncle, I don't know. But he does want something for trade. He wants some ouzo. Apparently he's never heard of it. Filthy Americans with the localized, globalized drinks. It's a drink of grease which puts hairs on your chest, apparently. So, our new... Yes, this is clearly Lovecraft. With all the people coming from the sea, the deep ones are the ones we're going to have to encounter. So much as in the second game, our quest is to bring an old man a bottle of a really strong alcoholic beverage. First it was moonshine, now it's ouzo. So where to go from here? Well, maybe someone in the town knows where to get some. Yes, ouzo is testosterone. This guy again, I guess, all this place again, since it did seem to be a bar. Yes. Now there's two people here. Greek guy, different Greek guy. Apparently we haven't seen hair like that since Florida. And a bottle of ouzo on the table. So it looks like our quest might be complete after only a few minutes. He doesn't know what I'm talking about when I talk about benching, huh? Probably we have some nice hair, that's great. But they don't want to make small talk, so let's make questions at them. Oh boy. This guy's called Vagelius and the other guy's called Lambros. Apparently they come from Athens and they come here to pick up tourist women from the campsite. That's noble. And they're very nice here. They don't know anything about the sea people, but they do have this ouzo. They got it from the bar, but have to ask the lady next door at the pizza place. Oh, I see. Apparently the pizza lady owns this place as well, and this place is just like a sitting room. And we actually have to go here to order the drinks. So let's talk to this woman again. Yes, we need to get a drink. We need Ozo. Apparently Gianni's the fisherman. Apparently now we know his name. Sending people to buy Ozo for him, but she doesn't have any more. Apparently she's just sold the last bottle to those two. It's going to be a while before the next shipment comes in, so we need to appropriate that bottle of Ozo. What can we do to do that? We really need that bottle. Famous Greek hospitality, but they don't want to give it away. They don't want to trade either, but maybe there's something we can do. A drinking contest. So they must have made this game with the burn in mind. So what about this drinking contest? Whoever drinks the most Ozo wins. 2 against 1. Vagos can drink 6 bottles of Ozo before he feels anything. So we need to get someone else to even out the odds against these two. So we can have our drinking contest. Maybe we could get Simon to help. So back to the bungalow it is. Inside we go. Or not. Apparently we need to walk up the stairs. And there we go. So Simon's here reading. Reading a Greek guidebook. And we haven't looked around here yet, so might as well. We got a bottle of suntan lotion from the dresser. There's nothing in the nightstand though. So let's steal this mirror from the bungalow bathroom and talk to Simon, who might help us. Where did Alice say she was going? Well, we haven't seen her yet. Doesn't really have much to say about the village. Apparently he really likes sunshine because he's a Londoner and doesn't get a lot of it. Apparently he's quite pale too. His plans are to explore the area, but only after reading. So let's recruit him for our drinking contest. I think someone's drilling something somewhere. We need that bottle of Ozo, so you better help us out. Apparently he has a stomach of steel, so here we are to get the Ozo. Scrawny fellow is indeed our partners. Apparently this will be a good competition, so here we are. Now we play the drinking game. How is this going to work? He holds his hand up behind Lambrus's head. We guess how many fingers he's holding up. And if we guess wrong, we take turns drinking until someone gets drunk. So, you know, we just have to take the honor system. How many fingers is he holding up? Apparently it's Uzo. Well, actually, wait a minute. Just let me find out how it's spelled in Greek so I can... because I'm pretty sure it's a real drink. It's a drink from Greek and Cyprus. Apparently it's Uzo, even though it does have the Omicron at the start. That's kind of weird. Let me see if Google Translate can quell my doubts. put it into this thing.
Uso.
Apparently it is Uso. That's kind of weird. And what's the O there for?
Oh.
It's supposed to be pronounced O, so... You know what? I don't know how to speak Greek, so I can't really speak. So it's Uso, I guess. I don't need to guess how many fingers this guy's holding up. How about 3? Nope, we guessed wrong apparently, even though he never showed us. So we get slightly drunk. So I don't think we can win this right now, because it's just guessing, and... unless we get stupidly, oh. That was a lucky guess, so we didn't have to drink. So we're getting drunk quite fast, unlike Simon. The RNG gods are not in our favor. Oh dear. Apparently Lizard is having some stream troubles. I don't think it's on my end, because my internet hasn't crapped out like it did during that one time with the cow. Ben is getting drunk quite fast though. Simon not so much, but we're going to lose very soon. Really not much else to do or say about this. Just gotta keep doing this until we lose, because, yeah, fucking Greeks. They invented gayness. Can't really do anything to help ourselves win this. So I think we just lost, because the thermometer thing is filled up. Ben doesn't feel very well. And he just got done being sick. That Uso's got a main kick, so we're not going to win just by going in there. So we need to rig the competition just a little bit to make it work in our favor. You might have noticed that nail on the wall behind the 2 guys. We're going to use that to our advantage. Oh man, that sucks, Lizard. But you know, I'm putting these streams on YouTube, except for the YouTube, the part where we just watch YouTube videos. Actually, I am actually putting those on YouTube as well, but they're unlisted, so if you want to watch YouTube Magic Time, you'll have to tell me about it so I can give you the link. So let's hunt pixels and put this mirror on the wall. And now maybe the tide will turn in our favor. And apparently Gawkers are something that's default to a couple of times to look up. I'm very sorry about that. Oh wait, apparently Lizard can't see the stream again. I hadn't really seen that. Guess I'm having a hard time following the chat since I'm just sort of glancing over it from time to time. So let's save, and hopefully this time we'll be able to drink better. Interrogate the Simon, not the bed. So let's try that again. You know, somehow the bottle of Uso didn't run out with the first time, even though we are drinking from it. So let's listen to the rules again. We guess how many fingers the guy is holding up. If we guess right 6 times, we get the bottle. How many fingers is he holding up? That would be 3. I'm kinda surprised they don't notice this. He's holding up 2 fingers. It's back to 3 fingers, so we're halfway to success now. Also, that's kind of an awkward looking hand. But I guess hands are hard to draw. It's like he's holding up a stick that's been carved into a hand at the end, but anyway, it's 5 fingers. Now it's 2 fingers again. So, just one more guess, and we won the bottle. Make sure we break it with water. Yep. So, drinking raw ouzo. It's apparently not advisable, even though we were forced to do it last time. Yes, that would be pretty funny. I think that might have happened to me a couple times when I first played this game, actually, but I don't remember. So we have succeeded in our quest to get the bottle of ouzo, so let's go talk to the fisherman again. Going to the peaceful beach. Going to the small house in the distance. Having a drink of my own while doing this. And he still thinks that someone Greek has come to visit him, but it's just us. Guess I could find out what he's saying. We got your alcohol. So let's drink ouzo out of these red mugs. So now that we brought him that, maybe he'll be able to agree to take us to his boat. But first, the legend of the sea people. Storytelling time. In ancient times, before the rule of the Olympian gods, there existed ancient deities known as the Old Ones. So I guess we're really getting into Lovecraft here. One of the Old Ones was known as Forces. Thought they were called the Titans, not the Old Ones, but if I recall correctly from the Theogony, it was Chaos, then Gaia, then Oranos, and Gaia and Oranos had the Titans as their children, and the Titans had the Greek pantheon as their children. But I don't remember the Old Ones, or which of those groups Forces belongs to. And that's totally what Forces looks like a lobster man. Huge creature with the body of a man, covered in red spiked skin. Tail of a fish and 4 legs like the claws of a crab. He was terrible, and apparently he had a sister, Seto, who was just kind of big. Seto was a hideous aquatic beast and the personification of unknown terrors and bizarre creatures. So, not Dagon and not Hydra fell in love and were married. They had many children. They were monsters, which came to be known as the Forcides. I'm not entirely sure how you're supposed to pronounce this, but apparently the Gorgons were Forcides, as were the Fates. I don't know. I didn't really think the Fates and the and Medusa were related to the sea monsters, but whatever those other things are, apparently were. They lived in a large settlement at the bottom of the Aegean Sea, shown here. They stayed out of the way of the surface dwellers most of the time, but if they were disturbed, they would come out and get victims to enslave or eat, as shown here. And the monsters became known as the Sea People. legend has never been forgotten. Oh boy. Ben is buying games again. Can't ever get enough of all those games. There's an island not far from here. A magical place and the home of an ancient oracle. So let's go for a sail to the Oracle Island. Sounds like a nice place. Haunting Ground, wasn't that like... not Clock Tower? But yeah, there are working PlayStation 2 emulators now. I mean, I think I've gotten an ISO of Castlevania Lament of Innocence working. So, you know, my computer isn't exactly top of the line gaming rig, and I got a PS2 game working at a not completely terrible speed, so... Clock Tower Spiritual Successor, that sounds about right. Because I think it looked quite a bit like Clock Tower 3, which ironically was one of the least liked games in the Clock Tower series, but I think we need to get back to the game. We got this hook here, can we take it? We might need this hook to catch the big one. There's also a life preserver. Here we can look at. There's a chain and a life preserver and a hatch going down. So let's stuff this chain. Somehow managed to fit the entire thing in our pants. Can we take the life preserver? No, we cannot. There's no life-threatening emergency right now. Can we step into the captain's area? No, space is cramped in there. We can't just barge in. We can go below decks though. That's kind of big for a boat that looked kind of small, but you know, apparently appearances are deceiving. So what do we have down here? We have a still. We can make fresh water out of salt water in case of an emergency. We have a trunk where we store the inflatable dinghy and a porthole. Can we interact with any of these things? We don't have to open the trunk, and we don't want to mess around with this still, so I guess not. Oh yeah, you can replace the main characters. You can replace Ben's head with the head icon, as I've been doing a couple of times, since you know, it fits quite well. I'm fairly sure it was intentional. The bronze head icon and the stone head, that works as well. So Ben Jordan's very surprised. He must have sighted land. So where do we go from here? I thought we were going to Oracle Island, so let's talk about the boat. Apparently he won it in a card game 2 weeks ago. It's better than his old boat. He's got a still and a dinghy. The weather looks really nice, apparently. I picked a good day, so let's go to Oracle Island. Off we go, and now we're just here. This is the dinghy which we used to reach the island. Got some flowers, some white flowers here, so let's take one. I'm sure we will need it. There's a big boulder here, with a strange gap in the center, which might have been placed there deliberately, and a device, which looks as if it is missing a crank. So let's try interacting with it. Well, from over here we know that it feels like hot rusted metal that's been sitting in the sun for too long. But we did pick up that metal bar from the beach. It's slightly bent. So maybe it will serve the purpose of a crank. It's too long and unwieldy though. Maybe we can fix that with something else, but I'm not sure what. What was the problem again? It doesn't stay in place because it's too long and unwieldy, so what we do is... Okay, wait a second. I think we might have missed something actually. Might need to get back on the boat, because there's something down in the below decks area that we forgot to check out. So back to the boat it is. Go below decks. And there's something here, a saw trophy. The snout of a sawfish that seems incredibly dangerous, but we're going to grab it anyway. Oh shoot, didn't know that was there. Can't quite reach the trophy. Maybe if we, I'll go right now. Use the bar to... Yeah, we get it off the thing. So now we have a sawfish snout and a metal bar that's slightly bent, but it's too long and unwieldy, so let's use the sawfish snout to saw off the end of the metal bar. But it wasn't very sturdy because now it broke. But we have a shortened metal bar. And a broken fish snout. I'm sure the fisherman will love to see what we've done to his sawfish snout. Let's proudly present our handiwork to him. Or not. Let's get back on the Oracle Island. Maybe now we'll be able to use this thing as a crank. Oop. Now it fits perfectly. So let's turn the crank. And nothing happened because it's missing a belt, so that's great. Luckily though, we do have something that could serve the same purpose, and it's this chain. I would string it through the side of the machine. So let's grab the end of the chain, or not. Turn the crank again maybe. Chain rolls up a bit, but not much else happens. So how do we do this? Oh, maybe attach the hook to the chain? Seems like it could work. Yeah, there we go. So now that we have a hook and a chain, yeah, there we go. Picked it up and attached it to the boulder. And you know, let's hope that this works. A little hand-powered crane we've got going on here. Oh, the boulder's about to fall. Let's quickly step away. The machine's broken, but at least the boulder's out of the way. So let's head into this dark cave. And check out this place. There's a torch. We don't know why it's lit, seeing how the cave was blocked. A large stone statue might be the three fates. There's an inscription written in Greek at the base of the statue. And the statue is strangely warm to the touch. That's kind of odd. Yes, this is a hand with fingers sticking out. I think it's supposed to be like a reference to ancient Greek art. So there's an inscription down there, but it's written in Greek, so we can't read it. Maybe the fisherman will be able to help. Hey, fishy guy, get out here. Or we can't, maybe. Oh dear. Oh, maybe we should have written down the thing in our notepad. That's probably it. So back over there it is. So we can't just tell him to come with us and look at the thing. We have to actually show him. So back through the cave we go to take out our notepad and copy the writing on this thing. And now we go all the way back over to the left of the cave and get out of here so that we can go to the fisherman's boat and tell him to tell us what that inscription says. Get out here and tell me what this says. Check it out. No? Maybe talk to him about it? No? Oh, bloody hell. So how do we do this? Well, we did get a note, right? Yeah, but I don't think we... Oh, we got a note. It's a separate item, of course. Of course. So let's get him to come out one more time. And give him the note. This thing. It was written at the base of a statue in Oracle Island. Only those who can quench the thirst for knowledge may summon the Oracle. Quench the thirst. Doesn't seem like a very cryptic riddle. So how shall we quench our thirst for knowledge? Actually, I think we might have missed another item. We need to go back to the main island for it. The mainland for it. Back to Agiana we go. Yeah, right. Clearly, we need to give the ancient oracle some alcohol. To be fair, that wouldn't really be out of place in, Greek, Homeric mythology. Would be quite fitting, actually. I remember, like, in the Iliad, they had to make this... Fuck, what's the word for it? I know how you say it in Spanish, but not in English. These barbecue parties, whenever they wanted to make sacrifices to the gods, had to get a bunch of animals and gut them, and then eat them, if I recall correctly. So that's how you please the great lord Poseidon, clearly. So we have this red cup. Maybe if we take the red cup? Yep. And he lets us have it as long as we return it before we leave. So back on the boat we go. And now that we have this cup, maybe we can scoop something up from the sea. Yep, now it's full of seawater. Salty water. But I don't think that's good enough for drinking, so let's put it through the still. And get some fresh water. So now we have a cup full of fresh water. And apparently there was a bit of spice on that last bit of chicken I ate, so I was not expecting that. At least not in that quantity. So let me see. Let's go back to Oracle Island. Maybe now that we have fresh water we'll be able to quench the thirst of the spirit. as I am quenching my thirst with this bottle of soda. So let's... yeah, no, that's what I want to do. So let's give them a drink. Pour some fresh water on the statue, and wouldn't you know it, it worked.